Hi everyone, today is January 21st. What a week. Last 2 weeks, amazing. Price action, everything is good. No complaints. So, as and I mentioned last week, the trend was building up when it was somewhere here. I mentioned that it's heading up. To be honest, the pace is much higher or faster than what I anticipated. So that's for sure. This is like crazy run. Like this particular move was amazing, and of course this was also called out, right? So this is also a good call from our end. So this was the game changer call here, that it's not going down, and amazing move. And then this one also, that this is a support, and we got a breakout. So I think so far so good. Um, can't expect more than this, to be honest. And when we look at the social media is now changing the tone. I see that, but during this phase, they were in denial that, okay, this is not good enough. Still, I think I see that not everybody is convinced. So that's all right. But I think we as a group, we as a family here, we we entered at a right time, and that's something we should celebrate. In future, how long it lasts, how high it goes, doesn't matter. My attempt will be to detect the weakness and a potential downturn. So whether this is a recovery bounce or this is a reversal bounce, which I mean eventually if it reverses, it doesn't matter. What matters is, as long as we are able to detect the health of the trend, then we are in a good situation or position, and that's what we should look forward. Sometimes, okay, resistance and all that important, but I think what is more important is the weakness and a potential reversal. So if this has bounced, the first goal is to understand that this recovery bounce, how I mean how long this may last, in terms, not in terms of timeline, but in terms of strength. That's something we should be aiming for, and that's my goal, right? And you will come to know. Now, technically speaking, this is another time zone. Sorry, what I'm saying. This is also resistance zone, but this resistance zone is not a big one. Okay, so that means it is likely to spend some time in a specific range, but there is no weakness at this moment. Okay, so if it shows some weakness in coming days, or sorry, coming a few next few hours or next couple of days, then I'll highlight. But I think at this moment I see no weakness. I'm talking about 12 hours or 1 day time frame. Okay, this is like medium term, and that is still strong. No sign of weakness here. So because of resistance, it has stopped, but not that it wants to go down. Okay. Now, what I'll do it. So this is 1 day, and this was like this particular move was complete reset of FTX drop we had seen, and in my opinion, this was like recovering well, but because of FTX issue, it made a new low, like a very steep drop. Anyways, we are out of it, completely out of it, and now this is moving up. Now, previous levels, I may have to tweak a bit. Okay, so at this moment, I'm not touching them, but I'll post on BTC analysis channel. These old levels, I'll have to revisit. Okay, but for now, I'm not changing it. But you will get eventually. This was the key, the wall we said, because there were multiple attempts and it was not able to break above. It's approaching that level. So you can expect that after this is going to be the testing level, right? So this zone. So I may actually make a whole entire region highlight it like this. And again, we don't have to assume that it is going to break down from here. These are checkpoints, as I always say. These resistance are checkpoints, and each resistance could be just a point of consolidation, not necessarily a point of major drop. But yeah, resistance, there are three types of behavior, as I mentioned earlier. One is it may pause for a while and then goes up. Second behavior is where it could retrace, yeah, and then third behavior is it go deeper, and if could make new low. That's the third and the worst scenario. Okay, so at this moment, this resistance is more like a pause and new high. We'll see, but this is where we'll check, and I think this is the this is the ultimate one, 27K. Now this is 27K round number, but as it goes further, I'll refine it. So it could be 27K something here and there. So as in when it comes closer, I'll have more information. And that's how it is actually. In reality, we might have some levels at a higher level, but when it comes closer, then we get more data and behavior, accurate behavior, then we should be able to pinpoint that, okay, now this is where it stopped and now we should be watchful. Okay, so we are not at that stage at this moment, so that's a good thing. So that this is BTC, and let's look at weekly as usual. Look at the arrow we had, perfect, right? Perfect from last week. Nothing changed. This was an arrow last time. So total satisfaction as far as analysis is concerned. Okay, so this is heading up. Now we can extend this one. And then we can say, okay, what is this? This is that's the one I mentioned about the pink level. And then we'll check further. This is 31K. There's 27K. Yeah, this is a major resistance zone, 27, 28K. We'll see. So far, so good. As you could see, if I may hide all the drawings, last week was strong. No retracement. This week is strong. Look at that. Okay, no sign of retracement. Amazing. So I think there's not much to add, because the strength itself, like telling everything at this moment, there is no need to worry. Okay, it's heading up, and even if it goes down, it doesn't go down and collapse overnight. BTC doesn't do that. Okay, we'll have ample time. So that's another thing that I learned when I was new. I used to I used to feel like anyone else, being new in the game, that what if it crash and all that kind of. But when as far as BTC is concerned, it doesn't do. And usually the top coins, they don't do that. Only if a small cap has no and totally unpredictable, because those are like being pumped with a low wall, I mean, liquidity, and very few players manipulating price. So we never know about them. Okay, but as far as BTC, it's not going to, like, you wake up and you will be shocked. It's not going to happen. Especially the volatility will go down as more participants in future. Okay, so far so good. So far so good. What if we draw a trend line here? Beautiful. So we are at a trend line. Again, trend line, there are many ways to draw trend line, right? Many angles. So there is no one technique, but It's good to see that it has reached here. So definitely this is a checkpoint, right? We should not ignore. This is a checkpoint from a trend line point of view. But as far as weakness is concerned, there is no evidence of it. So everything is good. I'll stop here because let's have a look at monthly as well. The monthly is super strong. Look at that. Beautiful monthly candle. No sign of weakness. Perfect. So this is not out of the woods as far as the reversal is concerned, but it doesn't happen overnight, right? Like morning to night, there is evening in between, right? So that's how it is. Darkness doesn't come all of a sudden, not like a switch. So it's a gradual process. So the reversal will happen if it continues like that, and we'll call it out, right? At this moment, we are part of the recovery phase. This is very important to know. And during the recovery phase, and the recovery phase is part of the reversal, but we cannot say reversal because it has to have certain height. It has to achieve certain height for it to call out. And I'll let you know when it reaches. Okay. But yeah, this is very positive. What else? Life is good. Let's look into alts. Alphabetical order. We'll go back to weekly. We'll check our key levels and see how they are behaving with respect to key levels, right? Look at this. What happened? This is like we saw last week. So this week it dropped, but got a support from the. See, this is so important that prior support is still playing role, and that's why I mentioned I'm not going to remove them. It bounced, right? Went up, broke above, and when it went down, it got a support here. Perfect. Now it is back to where it was last week. So this is good. So you know that this is the next level, correct? Next one is AVAX. Similar, very small range where it correction was very narrow range, very narrow. So this is totally fine. BNB retraced, but look at that quick recovery, which is beautiful. CRO also making progress. It broke above the support. So last week it stopped right at the support because it's resistance. Prior supports are resistance, remember? So these also support. So that means this is the next resistance. So it's making progress. Doge got some momentum. Still, it is not in the original form where it moved like 20% or something like that. We'll see. Not bad. Dot is also moving up nicely. Now it has broken about two supports, means two resistance now while going upside in the next level. It's also got a support from the prior. And then, yeah, right now EGLD pace is not as it used to, but I think it may come. Looking good. ETH has touched the orange. Okay, total recovery from the reversal point, this one. So it has touched the orange. So for all the coins, we have orange level from where it corrected. Remember, the wall, which is around 25K, from where BTC started correcting and we called out in advance. Now, alts are now regaining those levels, and ETH has got that level. So ETH in a way is ahead, right? Filecoin is making progress, so we can expect it to break above this $5 resistance and go for the orange level. So this is also looking good. While we go through this one, BTC pumping, which is good, 2% daily gain. Good to see that. Flux is making move. Look at that. Nice progress. So, and sometimes you don't have to be sensitive like this. When the things are good, when the mood is good, I saw one user said I sold APT. Again, I'm not trying to pinpoint his action, but just a comment, a response that if everything is going well, why there is need to do in and out? Unless someone wants money or someone wants to change. But it's like your horse is winning the race, or horse is like what I mean, doing well. Why you want to switch it? So it's not a suggestion, but it's a question which everybody should ask themselves that do I really need to keep changing if the trend is really good, if the Bitcoin is strong, Bitcoin is not going down, should I keep changing? So that's a question. Not each and every coin is going to go up. So there is going to be few days in between where it could correct, it could come down, it could spend some time, go sideways. It is going to happen. But my experience says that when the market is good, in and out, actually you may lose more money than gain. But I would like everybody to experience that, because sometimes no matter how much I say, sometimes unless you experience it, you don't realize that some people take it. But as I said, I'm not in a business to consult or advise, but sharing my experience that when the market like this is doing well, and if your coin is doing well, there's no need to switch, and your coin is not going to go up every day. So if tomorrow, if your coin is in red with a red candle, daily red, then it should not be disappointing, because that's part of the game.
Come on.
Weekly trend is so important. And of course, when you have a very small cap, pump and dump coin, then you have to be careful. So I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the active list and anything that is like steadily moving up without major volatility. I'm talking about those coins in general. Okay. FTM is making nice progress. Amazing, right? It has broken above the orange level last week, and now it is making new high. So it's ahead in the game. HNT got some reaction near this resistance. The prior support is resistance. Makes sense. That's not a problem. KCS, nice looking candle approaching the resistance, right? Link coin is about to break above this resistance where it stopped last week. So we can expect it to continue moving towards the orange level. Matic is following this pattern nicely, so we can expect it to hit this R1 and near 1.24. Sandcoin is next one, is also making nice back-to-back weekly green candle, broke above the prior resistance, approaching the orange. And also, I mean, simple trend line point of view, it has broken the trend line as well, right? That's not so important, but one way to look at it. And you don't have to do very sophisticated TA, making a lot of design and patterns and all. Okay, sometimes the TA is TA. I see again, I see TA charts, full of drawings, full of so many things. See, ultimately, what matters in trading is everybody is looking for one thing: gain. Okay. Another thing is if you want to learn academics, I'm sharing few things, but that's a different topic. But mainly, the goal is to make money. And many times the charts are so busy and with full of drawings and full of indicators and so many things that you get confused. So what it exactly doing? To me, if I'm a trader, what is important? There are two main important aspects. One is the direction. You cannot be wrong on direction. And second is the key level. And that's what I'm trying to emphasize. Along with that, in academia, if you go through, I'm posting wherever I see some patterns and all, and there are tons of resources online also, right? So you can browse them. I mean, you will easily learn basic thing. Okay, so that's there. Anyways, coming back to business. So this is, so it has to be simple, and analysis has to be simple. The uh, summary has to be simple, and you should know what it is, what really happening. You should get a feel of the market, and once you get it, that's it. So ultimately, after looking at the analysis, after going through the analysis and looking at the chart, you should feel that okay, whatever I'm holding makes sense. That's what I'm trying to do. I'm making sense here, and the same time we are trying to be a step ahead. I don't claim, and we should not claim as a group as well, that we should look for far-fetched future. There's no harm in talking about it. I can talk about 200K level, 100K level. There's no harm in talking about, but there is no need to talk about. What is important is our goal is to make money every month. Our monthly balance should go up. If we are able to do so, right, that's a victory, and that's good enough. And when the time is bad, we should be conservative. We should understand that we have to change the gear from top gear, we have to come down to lower gear. So like that, it's like driving a car, right? So when to accelerate, when to decelerate, that this is something you have to learn as far as trading goes. That's it. When I say accelerate, mean when you put more money or less money, that kind of a thing. So in this market, there's no need to fear unnecessarily. So last one, right? It is here now. Again, a couple of resistance in between, but making progress as you could see. And nice bounce of this we called out long time back, right? I mean, I just picked up Sol as one coin because it was a victim of FTX debacle, because the Sol had nothing to do with it, but it was a collateral, and that's why beaten up. And that is actually an advantage. Any anytime if a good coin is beaten up for a wrong reason, then we have to look for the right timing, and we picked up the perfect timing around $8, right? And now it's going up. Now people, okay, so those who entered would be rejoicing, and those who have sold need to think, as I mentioned earlier, that what is the need? Again, I'm not advising, but what is the real need? If there is real need, like you need emergency fund and money somewhere else, then it's a personal call. But otherwise, there is no need to change something which is making back-to-back green candle on a weekly basis. Okay. Another thing is, if somebody is thinking that he or she has missed the bus, then I'm telling you that's also a wrong understanding. Okay, miss the bus. It's not that there is one starting point. Each resistance is a starting point, because this coin could have gone down further below, even at $6. There is no rule that it had to bounce from $8, right? There is always a set support level. So, like, supports can be at a different levels and lower, right? Many people thought 30 is very good. Many people thought 20 is also good. Even I thought 20 is really good. But when it started going down, well, I said then it's even better, because I was not worried. In fact, I was saying to myself, telling myself that, okay, this is even better, because I was not expecting Sol to go down 20. But if it is going down, that means it's opportunity. So what I'm saying for Sol is actually for everything, but I took Sol because it was hard heated coin. I mean, it was affected and badly affected, and it is one of the prime coins. That's why, project wise. So that's why I emphasize more on it. There's no, it's the, I don't have any coin that is favorite. I believe in making money. That's it. So that's how it is. Like Luna, for an example, those who are there for long, we called out Luna on top. Now Luna was doing perfectly fine when we called out. So it's not that I didn't like it started, but it's like technical analysis. So we loved Luna as long as it was good, and we threw away in a way when we found weakness. And then what happened? Even I didn't know that they'll end up in this. So we don't know that, but we can always know that whether it has strength or not. Take FTT for an example. It's not an active list, but it's a good example for learning point of view. That whole entire world was uh, cursing or talking about zero level or whatever. And it makes sense, total sense, because they looted, they cheated. You can say anything about it. So there is a valid reason why you would say that it should go to zero, even sentimental, emotional point of view. But when you are TA, you don't have emotions in play. You don't have those kind of uh, history baggage. You have to look from a fresh eye and then see what is really happening. And I saw it's not going to zero, first of all. And then I saw stabilization, that somehow it was stabilizing. And then I posted a couple of times, as you know, and now it is 2 point, about 2. It was like 0.89 or something. So point is, it's not about percentage gain, but point is, it is going up. That's the point. It is not going towards zero. Now, then we learned that somehow this guy Sam is also not getting arrested. He got a bail. Now whether you, whatever is the reason, he made a fraud, and we don't want to discuss in this call that, okay, whether he was right. Of course he did everything wrong, but the world is not about what is, the world is not perfect. In reality, the world is not perfect. Rules are there, but rules are twisted. Laws are there, but laws are twisted. And what we have to find is what is good for us. So one thing is, you comment on what they did. Those who got lost, we feel really sorry for them, and some of them are our friends only, and some of you could be in that kind of a loss. So it was horrible. But what I'm trying to say is, that's one aspect, what happened. But what is happening is another thing. So if people are carrying away or carried away with the recent event and not seeing what is happening, then they miss. So that's my point. So when to leave behind certain things, you cannot forget. But how? But trading is about planning. You cannot just carry forward your sentiments. So that's something trader has to learn. So I just brought FTT as an example. I'm not trying to say I made a lot of bottom calls. So that's not a point. The point is, the whole entire society, or personally also, we would be hating certain things. But we have to see if the same thing is also an opportunity in the present. Okay. I'm not trying to say FTT is going to make a full recovery. What I'm saying is FTT is just an example, where I'm saying that the worst thing that everybody could imagine is also making money for someone who has bought. So that's the point. So it's just an example. So the crux is, the sentimental value has no place in trading. It has no place, and emotion and all those things need to be parked somewhere else. It's very important. Okay, so with this, I think we have gone through all the coins. What I'll do is, the summary is simple. Summary is simple. There is no need to assume it's going down because it's going up. Okay, there is no weakness, and if there is weakness, I'll let you know. Okay, life is, the trading is simple, and it has to be simple. Chart should be simple. It has to be simple, right? And trading should not be the life. It is part of the life, and it should not affect our life. We should make money with with this crazy move. Whole entire thing is rubbish in terms of price action, because none of this coin, in my point of view, should have this value. Okay, but I always say I'm in a business. I'm not criticizing it. Don't misunderstand me. What I'm saying is the products are not there. Products are not being used, but still they have huge price. We are taking advantage of the madness. So I'm not criticizing it.
I'm not
As I
criticizing it.
said,
As I
um,
said, um,
we have to take advantage of the situation, right? So that's what we're doing, right? If someone says this is what going to do, like a lot of people say, regulation will come, they'll ban, um, authority will seize this and that. Okay, as and when that happen, it is going to show up in price action. We'll take care. So why to assume? Not to assume. So we'll take advantage of the situation. We'll have a checkpoint every other day. Every day we are checking the market. So it's not going to slip out of our hand unless we're not looking at it. So as long as you are watching my updates, as long you are looking at the daily update and so on, you don't have to worry. And one more thing, most of the time we lose because of our own habit. So this is new year. Everybody has learned a lot, right? In last year or so, tough year. So everybody has to note down points of their weakness and make sure it doesn't happen again. And that's the progress. And it's not about how many mistakes one has made, because everybody has made mistake. If I recall my recent past, then I don't think of any mistake that I have left. Actually, I must have made all type of mistake, including leveraging 100x, or or losing money with high leverage. I have no regret or shame sharing or saying that, because when you don't experience certain things, sometimes you don't learn. Sometimes you learn proactively. So from my side, it was mix of both, and the improvement continues. So the reason I share all this, so somebody who is new in the game could learn before make big mistakes, and try and learn before, and so learn and proactively can take proactive measures. So that's the point. So everybody would have made some mistakes, but I think the key is not to repeat the mistake. This year looks good. At least the start is good, and I think we should enjoy, right, without taking too much of load on emotional side. So that's my message, and I'll end my analysis here. While I was talking, BTC made progress and looking amazing. Looks good. Like this resistance zone. As I mentioned, there's no weakness. Right? So far, so good. Everything looks good, and we'll be in touch. I'll end this recording, keeping the call on for your questions.